Rising interest rates are probably the number one thing in tempering demand. We are seeing a shift, however, more normalizing conditions, which is a breath of fresh air for buyers. However, mortgage payments are becoming more arduous currently. So let's just see how this is playing out in our market. Hi, everyone. This is Christine Kopr with Sotheby's Realty in Vancouver, BC, Canada, with your market update for September. Stats came in the beginning of October, and we're doing our quick market video to give you an understanding of how the market is changing. Okay, as you know, every month I like to review this chart. The reason because it gives us a quick overview of what's happening in the marketplace, and we go over months of inventory, which is the number one way to know which way the market is heading. We're going to get to that in just a moment. We're going to run through the stats, and then we're going to get to months of inventory, which is essentially supply and demand. If you have a sustained period of a certain level of activity, that can either put upward pressure on prices or downward pressure on prices. So let's just see how things are unraveling here. September sales came in at 1,687. That's lower than July and August, which is traditionally the quieter months of the year. Sales are 46% below year-over-year sales. So this is the amount of transactions, the amount of volume of buying going on, or transactions of properties buying and selling in a month. It is also a 9.8% decrease, that should be a decrease, pardon me, month over month. So almost 10% slower than August, and it is 46% slower than last year in August this time. New listings, so this is the new inventory that's coming on the market every month. We are going to be taking a very close look at new listings and active listings as the months go on here, because they're going to be a really good indicator of what's to come, especially as our sales temper below the 2,000 mark. Our sales, by the way, at 1687 are 36% below the 10-year average. The 10-year average is important because it helps take out the swings. As we all know, the market goes ups and downs, and it's never, steady eddy. It's generally a pendulum. It goes from one extreme to the other. And so the 10-year sales average gives you an idea of what is a temperate, or the average amount of sales taking out some of those swings. And so we are below the 10-year average. If you look at some of my previous videos, we go back into time to see what happens when we've had other mortgage changes and how that impacted the market. So new listings that came on in September was 4,229. That's up 27% month over month and up 18% year over year. So we're starting to see a little bit more inventory. However, we are still in record low inventory in terms of the total amount of active listings, is what we're looking at next. So these are the total amount of homes available to purchase on our MLS. And remember, our stats, this overview is for the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver. Okay, so that covers everywhere from Whistler to Maple Ridge. This is not specific to a product type or neighborhood. If you want to get that information, please contact me and we'll get that information to you directly for any type of property that you're considering selling or purchasing. This is just the overall market trend, just like looking at the TSX or any of the major indices, what's happening in the overall market space. So active listings is at 9,971. We're up 3% month over month, no big deal. Up 8% year over year. Also, not too bad considering that we have a very low environment. And last year, and for the last 2 years, we've had almost no inventory to satiate the demand. Now, as demand is tempering, this amount of active listings is hanging on. However, as we go into the months of inventory, you're going to see that we are moving towards a buyer's market. So even though we have historic low inventory, the overall conditions are moving towards a buyer market. So how do you know if it's a buyer's market? Between 4 and 6 months of inventory is balanced market, neither favoring buyers or sellers. Over 6 months of inventory, so 6 months and above, is considered a buyer's market. There is more supply than there is demand at that time. Below 4 months of inventory is considered a seller's market. So 4 months and below, seller's market, as we were earlier this year. 6 months and above is considered a buyer's market, which is where we're headed based on the current demand. If the demand increases, then we're going to start popping back down. If If the active listings stay relatively the same, then we're going to be back into more balanced or a seller's market conditions. However, this has been the trend. As you can see, these are the interest rates increases we have experienced, and it's starting to impact the market in that way. We are moving towards a more buyer's market. Now, in certain types of pockets, certain types of product, price point, there is limited inventory, and you can see a high demand for those properties. However, the overall trend, as we're discussing, is moving into more of a buyer's market, and that's also being reflected in the price here. Today's benchmark price is 1.155. That's month over month is down 2.1%, and it's just up 3.9% year over year. Previously, we had double digit increases year over year, and so that's starting to change. And I wanted to highlight this here. In fact, prices are down 8.5% for the benchmark. So this is just the benchmark is down 8.5% in the last 6 months, where most of the change is being felt right now. So if you want to get more specific information, different types of product are experiencing different types of changes. If you go to Fraser Valley Detached, that's some of the most impacted type of product. Downtown core, light changes, not as much. So you need to get that information specific to you for your product and your market type. So when it's how's the market, we need to know which part of the market you would like to know about. Reach out to us. We look forward to helping you. And with that, we look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care.